Hello, welcome to another episode of the Daily Seeds of Flourishing. So today I'm going to spend around 10 minutes or so talking about Yoga Nidra. So I'm going to include all of the links to everything I'm talking about that I bring up on the screen in the description. That's something I'll be doing every episode going forward for whatever I'm talking about. And that way, if you choose to, you can go down those rabbit holes of flourishing accordingly. If it's something you're not interested in, then just no need to go through the links. So Yoga Nidra in various forms is something I've personally been practicing for quite a while now, and it's one of those techniques, I suppose, where I was doing aspects of it before I realised that there was a tie-in to the term Yoga Nidra. Also, it's one of those terms where there's a bit of wiggle room in terms of where it's come from, what it represents, all those various things. I think the first time I was introduced to it, the way it was framed, if you like, was if you've ever done yoga, there's a bit at the end after the session where you sort of lie on your back and you just scan your body or let go. And for some people that's the most enjoyable part, and depending on the style of yoga that you might be doing, how that's done might change, and depending on the instructor. But at its core, I would say it is the process of working through various parts of your body in the form of a body scan. So, bringing mindfulness to parts of your body, and you can get as granular or as broad as you like. So just quickly scrolling through this, you can see various lenses, if you like, various views on what Yoga Nidra is. This is an interesting walkthrough, and a lot of the Yoga Nidra techniques that I've practiced through podcasts that are on Spotify do seem to follow these steps loosely. The nice thing about this article is there's a ton of notes at the end. I'm also going to include the search here, the Google Scholar search as well. So you can take a look at the research. As it points out here, the scientific evidence is a bit patchy. However, there are certain interesting researches in certain areas that are very promising and very encouraging. What I like about it is that it's a nice, non-invasive technique that you can just practice with and see where it takes you and whether it works or it doesn't work. Also, it's really easy to condense down into like a 2-minute body scan if you feel so inclined. So one last thing, because what I'm going to primarily do here is I'm just going to walk through a simplified Yoga Nidra inspired technique that I use at the start of the day and at the end of the day and certain times of the day where I want to take a little bit of a break. So I'm going to go through that. But before I do, this is my favourite podcast that I've been listening to on and off, where I just want to work a little bit with deeper techniques. Particularly good if you're not also used to diaphragmatic breathing, which is something I've been doing for a long time. So it's not really something I have to think about now, but it's useful if you tend to breathe a lot from the top of your chest and short breaths. This really helps you have deeper breaths and gives you a feeling of stabilization, I find. Also, if you've listened to my Easy Relaxation podcast or any of the uploads I've done to YouTube as well, you'll know that several of the relaxation methods that I use do seemingly, once you understand Yoga Nidra, incorporate aspects of Yoga Nidra, and that's, at the time, that was unintentional, but yeah, there's again a good deal of overlap there. So I'm just going to walk through now a very simple Yoga Nidra inspired technique, so you can just get a feel for this. And as I said, as a consequence, this episode may run slightly longer than 10 minutes, but we'll see how we do. So I just want you to get comfortable wherever you are. This, I find, because I do it mainly at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, I tend to do lying down, but you can do it seated. Also, as I always say, all my relaxation episodes, don't do this while you're driving or operating any dangerous machinery. You need to bring your full attention on the technique. So just firstly, get in a position either lying down or seated. Just put your hands in a position that feels comfortable. And now we're going to start to bring our attention to various parts of the body. Obviously, you will probably want to customize this based on how you experience your own physical presence in the world. But I'm obviously going to run through how it pertains to how my physical presence feels like. So first thing, just gently bring your attention to your nose, the tip of your nose, and just as the breath moves in and out of you, and what I find helpful here is just to add in maybe a sensation of letting go on the out-breath. Then bring your attention to how your breath feels around your throat area. And then down to your chest. How that feels. And then down to your stomach. Maybe noticing the rising and falling of your stomach as you just breathe naturally. But as you do this, you may start to notice that your out-breaths are just naturally extending comfortably, and maybe you're breathing a little bit deeper and slower and more relaxed than normal, but just in a way that is most comfortable for your body and your your physical presence. And now bring your attention to your toes. Sometimes I find it helpful in your mind to just prefix that instruction to bring attention to the part of your body by saying, letting go into your toes, and then letting go into your feet, letting go into your ankles, and as you're doing that, obviously moving your attention to your point of focus, letting go into your calves, letting go into your knees, letting go into your thighs, letting go into your pelvis, letting go into your stomach area, letting go into your chest, letting go into the sides of your torso, and letting go into your back, letting go into your shoulders, letting go into your upper arms, letting go into your elbows, letting go into your forearms, letting go into your wrists, letting go into your hands, letting go into your fingers, letting go into your neck, and letting go into your chin, and letting go into the front of your face, and letting go into the sides of your head, and then letting go into the back of your head, and then letting go into the top of your head, and then finally attention to your whole body and letting go into that. And now, as you're just present here, bring the attention back on your breath to whatever region is most comfortable to do that. It might be the rising and falling of your stomach, or some other area, noticing the movement of your breath. And then finally just bring your attention to the tip of wherever you're breathing from. Most of the time I breathe through my nose, as that's most relaxing. And so I'm just going to bring my attention to that area. Notice perhaps how the breath might be deeper and slower than when you started. And now just bring your attention slowly back to the room. And also bring your senses back to noticing your environment. And now you can start to go about your day. So hopefully that experience of a Yoga Nidra inspired technique helped with your flourishing. As I've said, I will include the links in the description. Thanks once again for listening. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next episode.